So you've turned your longer on and you want to get it on Wi-Fi to explore what Wi-Fi will give you. So what you need to do is press Tools and then press the Wi-Fi setting. I'm going to blur mine out because I've already connected, but it's worth noting here what the bootloader is, the firmware and the CPU frequency, but the firmware is the more important one, which we'll cover in a minute. So press Wi-Fi up here. It will list all the Wi-Fi's that it can find down here, but I'm blurred mine out so you don't see them. And if you want to connect to one, you would press the one that you recognize, because it may find your next door's Wi-Fi connection. So I'm going to press that one. You're going to enter your password in here. I won't, because I'm hopefully going to back out of this and it will keep my existing password. But then you type in your password, press connect, and it's telling you you've got a reasonable signal strength here. So let me see whether I can back out. Okay, so once you've connected, you've entered your Wi-Fi SSID and password in, you'll get this screen saying it's connected. Now you need to tap the connected button and it will tell you the SSID and the password and the IP address that you're connected to. So mine is 192.168.1 and my number is 128. Your numbers will probably be different. The first three numbers are pretty much standard across Wi-Fi home routing systems, unless you've changed it for some reason. So I'm going to now go back upstairs to my Windows PC, which is connected by Ethernet cable, so it has no Wi-Fi. And I'm going to enter in this address. I'm going to enter in this address into a browser, and we should be able to connect to the longer. And then we're going to do some customization. So let's get up in the warm. So while we're here, what other things can you do? Adjustment only gives you one adjustment, and that's going to turn the laser beam on or off. Can be handy to use that for manually positioning the laser, but if you have Lightburn, there is a function in Lightburn that you can turn on and set the power, which I normally have like 1%, and that's used for when you're framing your work. So if I push this on, you'll see the laser come on and off. So now we can back out of that one. Control is moving the laser as you would expect. It's moving to the right, moving to the left, moving away, moving back. This one here will go through 10 mil, 0.1 mil, 1 mil, 10 mil. So if you're jogging the laser and you want some fine adjustment, now you can just hear the steppers clicking because it's only moving 0.1 mil, 1 mil, and then back to 10 mil. High speed and low speed, that must be the acceleration. Let's have a go. That's moving really slow. If you look at the laser head, back on high speed, you can hear the stepper motors are making a different sound. So that's it. I'm going to press 0 here, so my laser is about there. I'm going to press 0, and on the screen it says that's my 0 position. I'm going to press yes. Now I'm going to jog the laser around. That's far enough, so I'm back on this screen where I've been jogging around. Now if I press home, it should go back to the position I set. So one of my routines I do is I always set a manual home position. I have no limit switches, so what I normally do, I would slowly, before I power on the machine, I move the laser head to the bottom left hand corner. I stick it in the corner, turn the laser on, and the first thing I do is press set 0. then the laser knows exactly where it is. So unless you get a power failure, it will always do it. So if we just jog again, tap the buttons too much, there it goes. Press home and it should come over here somewhere. And as expected, it comes home. So, right. Unlock. Info unlock. Not sure what that does. Maybe it's locked the unlock done. No, that's moving. Gonna have to read up. I don't know what unlock is. Never use that function, but I'll try and let you know in the comments below. So now we're gonna go back upstairs and look at the web interface, because we can't do much other than engraving. So my SD card is in, press engrave, and it brings up a list of files in the root directory of the SD card. Now you can't make folders as it doesn't recognize folders, so you end up with a long list of files. The last one that you add to the card, gone too far. So the last one you add will always be here. See, I was doing a test here, junk GC. So if you go back, and then if you wanted to engrave a file, you would pick the one you wanted, framing. So if I just turn my lights off and frame, you'll see the laser come on. And that's good for framing. And that's a framing box. You would go back arrow to go back, that one to accept it, minus, never press minus. Minus doesn't do anything, plus doesn't do anything. So all you've got is accept, and that will start engraving or go back. So I'm going to go back, and then we're going back to this screen, and it's scrolling what you're cutting. While you're engraving, you can change the speed and power, but that'll be another video. Anyway, let's get back upstairs in the nice and warm. That's interesting now. It's saying disconnected. I'm going to have to enter my damn passwords in. Okay, let me add my password back in, and we'll go back upstairs. So we're now back in the warm, and we're going to open a new browser window. Doesn't matter what browser you're using. And we're going to type in the IP address, which was 192.168.1, and mine was 128. Yours may be different. There we go. We got the web interface up. So that shows that the chip is online, and now we can do some customization to make sure every time it connects to your Wi-Fi, because it doesn't actually connect to the internet, it will have the same IP address. Because if this last 3 digits changes because your router serves out a different address under its DHCP, not getting too technical, if that number changes, you would have to remember to go downstairs to your laser, or go to your laser, tap on the Wi-Fi button to see what IP address it is, to come back to your computer to put in this browser address to be able to log on to your laser control panel. So if you've not seen this before, very quickly, you can see what's on the SD card. Here's some files that I've been burning. Now these files have to be in the root directory of the SD card. If you make folders like I've done here, I've got folders of what came on the card. You won't see that on the screen on the laser. Settings, it takes a little time to come up for some reason. So these are settings that we can either change here, but we're not going to touch any of these today because this is the way the laser works. So we can make it go faster, we can make it home quicker, we can make it accelerate quicker, but we're not doing that today. But you can either do it on here, or if you've got Lightburn, you can do it through the control panel. Lightburn. Language, there's only two options. I assume this is Chinese and English, and the about is, now don't get confused about this one. This is not the firmware on your laser machine. This is the web interface which you're looking at now. So yeah, don't get confused with that. Right, control. Let's get back to what we're doing. I'm going to turn these off. The base mode just gives you a lot more information. If you just see here, it gives you lots more information. I'm going to turn off auto scroll, and I'm going to clear, even though it still keeps scrolling. So I'm going to have to screen capture some of this to talk about it. Now, to see the commands which are stored in the laser control module, we're going to do $S. Pause the video here because I want to talk about these. So we've already entered in our Wi-Fi when we was downstairs in the cold garage, and we entered our password, and so that's that. Now it's telling you we're in DHCP mode. We haven't got an IP set, our gateway's not set, no net mask, our laser is called MKS_DLC, and the host name is GRBL ESP. Now we're going to change all that to make sure our laser always connects to the same IP address, so it makes our life easier. So if I clear it first and do it, if I do $ESP102, it will show me what the command is. So it's DHCP. Now we're going to change that. So we're going to do $ESP102 equals, because we want to change it, static. If you can spell it right and you press send, change it to static. Now if we do $ESP102, it should now say static, which is good. Now that's going to give us this static IP address. So the next one we're going to do is, oh, not dollar, pound sign, $ESP112, and press enter, and it's going to tell us what our laser is called. So that would show up like on your Wi-Fi. So I'm going to call mine longer 10 watt. So I'm going to enter $ESP112 equals longer 10 watt. And if I enter that again, my machine downstairs is now called longer 10 watt. So if you've got multiple lasers, this is a good thing for you to do. Now one here we're going to check, because I'm not sure whether this was changed in an update of firmware or whether it came standard. So I'm going to do $ESP110 station. Now if yours says something different from station, where you need to change that. So down here you would have to type $ESP110 equals STA. That's what you would have to enter to get it to STA, because the gosh, it's gone out of my mind now. The we don't want it on AP, access point. You want it on station. So that one's done. We're now going to set the static IP address. We're going to do $STA/IP, and we're going to do that, and it should come 0 because we haven't set it. So we're going to do $STA/IP equals, and now this is going to be the number which you saw on the laser screen on your laser. So mine was 192.168 1.1.128, which is fine because our router has already served up that address to the laser, and now we're just forcing it to keep using it. So the next one we're going to have to do is, so now in your command box here, you're going to have to type cmd, enter, and now you're going to have to type ipconfig. It's not going to change anything, it's just going to give us some information. Now what we need to do is take a note of what subnet mask says, and that's pretty much always the same. And then the default gateway is this number here. Yours may say 1 here, mine says whatever is under submask, you need to take a note of that. Default gateway, take a note of that. We can close out of that window now. So now we need to type in $STA/gateway equals maybe the last 3 digits, well, your last digit might be a 1. So I'm going to send that. And the very last command we need to do is $STA/netmask equals 255.255.255.0. We're there. So if we now do $S, so here we are, we've got the information we wanted. We knew the SSID of our Wi-Fi password. We've now got static. This is our permanent IP address. It's going to connect to our gateway. That is the submask, and down here is the host name. Okay, so we're nearly finished. Let's clear that out. So while we've got the page open, let's make a shortcut. Let's go 3 dots. So we've got the Chrome window, 3 dots, and save and share, create shortcut, called it the longer 10, open a new window and create. Now we can close that, and it's created a, find it on your desktop, click it. So and then there's using the interface. So if we just pick a file and want to frame it, you press this button, the machine will frame it. It says click to send, so it's asking you to double check before you send it. I'm going to say no because I'm remote from the laser at the moment, I can't see it working. Then if you want to burn the file, you press play and now it will start burning. Stop, and it will stop when it goes into alarm mode, or you can also pause it. Then if you want to delete a file, let me find the junk one, put it in here. Does it give you a warning? Confirm deletion of junk. Okay, we'll delete it. And this is refreshing the list of files. Now if you want to upload a file to the SD card, you would click this button. It opens up your file explorer. You would find a file, frame legs 3, here we go. So it's doing it in alphabetical order. So that's the way you put the file on the SD card. And that's about it. So yeah, really usable. It saves me transferring from my desktop PC because I tend to run my laser from SD card only. Because everything else is adjustable either from the controller downstairs on the module, or if you've got your phone in your pocket, you can fire up your phone and control it from that. But you can't have 2 external sources open into the laser at one time. If you've already got, say, your desktop here connected to the laser downstairs, and you turn your phone on and try to connect to it, the first one connected will drop out and your phone will connect. So yeah, that's it. So that's how I transfer the files. So that's it now. So every time I use my shortcut, I know this web page is going to open because I've set the static IP address. I am going to make another video regarding some of these dollar signs, but I need to do some testing before I do that. Anyway, that's Andy wishing you a good afternoon. Continue making some safe smoke, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for making it to the end of my videos. If I've earned your respect and your trust, perhaps you would consider subscribing to my channel. It really does make a massive difference. And maybe you would like to watch some of the videos popping up on the screen now. Let me know what you think. Cheers for now.